What's up, everyone? It is currently 12:18, Friday, November 27th, Black Friday, and obviously late at night, just wrapped up studying for today. In today's video, I'm going to bring you through kind of the next week of my life as I prepare for my final exam for my business finance course. This is regarded as one of the hardest courses at UF, so I definitely put in a lot of effort to this class, especially as a finance major. I know I haven't made a vlog in quite a while, so I figured this would be a great opportunity just to kind of show you the whole process that I go through, and I'll talk about that a lot later on. But as you can see, it's late here. I'm in Naples right now, obviously for Thanksgiving, heading back to Gainesville in the morning so I can just study non-stop there. But yeah, late now, still need to go back into my room and pack. Long day ahead of us tomorrow, so I'll see you in the morning. What's up, everyone? As you can tell, back in my Gainesville apartment, just wrapped up finishing the first module for this next exam, Module 8 of Business Finance. If that last time lapse looked really long, that's because it was. The question I just did, I don't know how much you can see, did take about 15 minutes to finish. It was definitely a challenging problem, but that's just where we're at right now with finance. So like I said, just wrapped up Module 8. That is one of the 3 modules that is on this final exam. Luckily, the exam is not cumulative, so that is definitely a bonus. It's just a little bit less content to study for. But sadly, this exam is kind of the hardest content, so that's something to look out for as well. But regardless of all of this, I'm back in Gainesville, which means that I'm kind of free to just grind and study as much as I want without having, dinner or anything else come up. Not that that's a bad thing to eat dinner with the family, but just here I'm on my own time. I can really dive into this to the degree that I want to and to the degree that I have on the first 2 exams, which allowed me to be quite successful. So just to dive in a little bit more in depth, the reason I study so hard for this class, Business Finance, Fin 3403, is because here at UF, this is kind of the weed out course for finance majors. Now for myself as a finance major, that means that I need to get a B or higher in the class, otherwise I can no longer be a finance major. This is definitely regarded as one of the hardest classes in the business school. Most people do struggle in the class. A huge portion of the students usually drop the class before ultimately they would have failed it. So far, I've put in so much work into this class. Luckily, I was able to squeeze out a 90 on that first exam and then a 100 on the second exam. So I'm in a good spot going into this final exam. Where I stand right now, I am definitely in a good place in order to earn the B. You can do the math on your end on the low score of what I need in order to get the B, but I definitely am aiming for the A in the class, so that means that I need to get at least an 80 on this final exam. There are only 20 questions on each exam, so there is a very small room for error on each exam, but I've been able to do well in the past, so I'm planning on keeping that going moving forward. So I'm planning on this kind of beginning part to be kind of the longest segment of this video where I'm talking, and then from here on out, it'll pretty much just be showing daily updates as far as where I am, kind of just some somewhat cinematic views and video clips of me studying, as cinematic as I can make it. I'm really just making this video so that I can kind of just have something else to at least think about every once in a while, because the exam weeks are pretty stressful, so it's kind of good to have something to take my mind off of the exam every couple of hours, maybe focus on editing the video, that kind of thing. So let's go over to the couch so I can talk a little bit more about what I do to study. So for this class, I've taken on some pretty extreme study measures, but that's what I decided was necessary in order to perform well in the class. So far I have no regrets, but to just kind of summarize what I've been doing leading up to each of the prior exams and what I plan on doing for this next exam. Usually for the class there are 2 lectures each week. It is a 4-credit class that equates to about 4 hours of lectures each week. I do watch the lectures. I watch them at about 3 times speed just to kind of retain some information, but to really just get the main gist of the topics. Here at UF, we're lucky to have StudyEdge, which is kind of a tutoring service that really helps with certain classes. So with StudyEdge, they provide chapter reviews or module reviews in this instance, and that is kind of what I've relied on for this class. That's what a lot of people do. They've been helping teach this class for quite a while now, and the way the professor teaches it is just super complex. It's not really straightforward, but with StudyEdge, they are able to break it down so it's a little bit easier to comprehend. So that's kind of the route that I've been taking this semester. So for each week, whenever a new review will come out from them, I'll watch that review. I'll go through all of the end of packet problems, all the practice problems, all of the exam problems relating to that subject matter. This is usually around 50 questions per chapter review. So I do all of this in addition to watching the actual professor's lectures, and then the professor has some quizzes that are supposed to be practice for the exam, so I do those as well to kind of cement all of the information I have learned. So throughout the couple weeks leading up to the actual exam, just while they're teaching the material, this is what I do as each review comes out. But usually the content ends around a week before the exam. So at that point, I really hone in on kind of just reviewing it all, just because it is so much information. From here on, I go pretty extreme. I go back into and watch each of those module reviews and then go through each of those practice problems again. At this point, it's a little bit easier just because I've had some more practice with it. So at this point, it's pretty much muscle memory. But I'm really just doing this to re-jog my memory so I remember everything and really just get that practice. So like I said, I go through each of the different modules and do this all over again. So this is kind of condensing all of the work that I did for the 3 weeks leading up to this into about 4 or so days. This is definitely a lot of work, but it kind of allows me to really get a good grasp on everything that's going to be present in the exam. And that way, by the time the exam comes around, I'm feeling extremely confident. So once I finish all the chapter reviews, I then dive into some of the StudyEdge practice exams. StudyEdge has done a pretty good job of making exams that are somewhat similar to the professors. They're definitely pretty challenging, but that's because the practice exam that the professor provides is almost too easy. I've gotten hundreds on them both times, and they are pretty much just the simplest problems that he could ask. So they haven't been too helpful, at least in preparation of the exam, but they have been successful in helping me build up my confidence. So as I mentioned, the professor provides 1 practice exam, and then StudyEdge provides 2. So that's 3 practice exams in total. They are pretty challenging. I take them seriously as if I'm taking a real exam. And then from there, I'm usually able to see the topics that I might be struggling on. And from there, I can kind of dive into some of those practice problems and just practice them again and again and again until, like I said before, it's muscle memory. So these are all things that I do to prepare for the exam. It definitely is a lot, but I have found that it has prepared me the best. I've been able to score extremely well on the first 2 exams, and I am obviously aiming to do the same for this third. It is definitely a lot of work, but like I said before, I'm able to finish kind of the exam review process extremely confident, and then by the time the exam comes around, I know everything pretty well, and I am able to perform well. So with all of this being said, I know this is like super deep into kind of the whole process that I take, but I'm sure some people at UF will come across this video and kind of learn a little bit from me. I've been able to help a lot of other people out who are taking the class with me right now, and we're all kind of in this together. It is definitely a struggle, but I just wanted to fill you guys in on what exactly I'm doing. So from here on, I promise to just kind of have short video updates letting you know what I finished. So I will provide my first update now. I have finished all of Module 8, so I'm going to dive into Module 9, Part 1, coming up soon. It's 4:30 right now on Saturday. Just watched UF destroy Kentucky, so a pretty relaxed day, back in Gainesville, and ready to get back to work. Hey everyone, so now it is 4:18. I don't think I've really filmed anything else today. Today is Sunday. I just finished up all of Module 9. So if you remember, I started Module 9 Part 1 last night, and then I did all of Part 2 today, so I'm feeling pretty accomplished, pretty much on schedule right now. I can't really say I'm ahead of schedule. Just still trying to, pace myself in the next couple of days, just because it is a marathon, not a sprint. So I'm just trying to stay relaxed. So because I just finished and because it's already kind of the early evening, late afternoon, I'm just gonna relax for about half an hour, watch some Netflix, kind of just let my mind relax before I jump back in to the grind afterwards. Everyone, so now it is 11:19 p.m. I finished up all of Module 10 Part 1 and got done with the majority of 10 Part 2 except for one question, so I'm saving that for tomorrow. That's kind of the toughest thing on the exam, so kind of saving that for when I'm a little bit more fresh, just because, like I said, it is very late. It's been a long day and a lot of work, so now I'm going to relax, enjoy this cool weather that we have here in Gainesville, and get a good night's sleep. So I just finished up my second practice exam. Definitely pretty tired, second exam of the day. So went to Wawa, had a reward, so decided to treat myself. Now I'm just gonna relax for the next hour or so before dinner, and then back to the grind after that. Hey, what's up everyone? Now it is 4:45, Thursday, exam day. The time is almost here. I know I haven't really updated you too much and I haven't really filmed too many videos. That's because I have been very busy, but I've definitely been making sure to kind of relax and to kind of alleviate a little bit more of the stress than I usually do. At this point, I'm really just so excited to take the exam. I know that sounds kind of weird, but in a class like this, there's only so many practice exams, so I do a lot of practice problems, but there's nothing really too similar, and I feel like I know everything. I'm feeling pretty confident, so I'm just ready to take it and be done with the class. I'm also wearing my lucky shirt tonight, so we'll see how that goes, but like I said, it's almost 5 o'clock now, so 2 hours until the exam at 7, so I'm gonna head to dinner now for an early dinner, and then come back here, freshen up and just everything, and then knock out the exam. So, sorry for not updating you last night. It is the next morning now, still no test results. The exam was decently tough, but as you can see now, I'm dressed up. I actually have an interview with BlackRock at 11:45, and then right after that, I am leaving and returning to Naples, so kind of a hectic morning, but definitely thrilled to be done with the exam, but still no test results, so I'm a little anxious about that, but feeling decently well. So now I am back in Naples. Gonna let you know the scores did come out. They dropped when I was in the car. I did not perform as well as the two previous exams, but I did perform well enough to secure the A in the class. I received an 85 on the exam. Now, obviously, this is not an amazing grade by any means, but regardless of this, it means that I keep the A in the class. That's really all I was looking for and really all that mattered for this final exam. I'm definitely super happy with it. I'm pumped. That was kind of the last tough thing I had this semester. In my other class, business law, I have a final exam, but because of my current standing in that course, I only need to get a 45 to keep an A, so I'm, in a good position for that, and then all my other classes don't have exams. So obviously back in Naples now, so that means I'll be here for about the next month or so. So I plan to pump out a lot of new videos for you guys. So if you're still watching, leave a comment below any video you'd be interested in seeing from me. Whether it's anything about my career at UF or professionally, whatever it may be, I'd love to hear your opinions. I know the cinematic sequences in this video kind of fell apart there at the end. When it got a little close to the exam, I was definitely a little bit stressed. Some of the content in Module 10 was just kind of hard for me to wrap my head around, so I think that's why I got that 85. I just really struggled with some of those final concepts. But regardless of all of this, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you at least got a glimpse at my life leading up to an exam. Definitely a lot of work, but you know, in an example like this, it still does pay off. So with all of this being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.